Waiting.
Oh, we do. Wow,
Yeah.
we already got an audience. Hey, hi
Yeah.
everyone. Cool, cool, cool.
All right, guys. So we're gonna wait a couple minutes to let people get in here, but let me know if the audio and everything's good over there on the viewer side.
Cool.
Comment section. Everyone hit the one if you can hear me and audio. Everything's good. Audio, video,
That's right.
getting ones. Cool.
Cool, cool, cool.
Ones. M-Star, ATL Auditor, Wizard of GOP, Bill of Rights, Coke Dog, Richard, Phil, Chris, Dustin, Grim, Scully. All right, guys. Boring Sandwich, what's up? Aurelio, Cop Locker, Brian, Zeus. All right. So I'm gonna start off. I know it's a couple minutes early. We're gonna let some people get in here, but we're gonna have this gentleman introduce himself, and we're gonna get right into what happened with him over at the Gloucester Public Schools. So, if you'd like, introduce yourself.
Sure, sure. First of all, Tommy, thanks a lot for having me on, man. I really appreciate it. I discovered your channel, your Facebook page because of this. Somebody tipped me off to it, and I really have enjoyed your work, and I see what you're doing, and I appreciate it. I love it. And
Awesome, man. Thank you.
yeah, so you visited our fair city of Gloucester and audited our police a while back, and you did a
Yeah.
great job. And actually, they didn't do so bad either. I don't think. I don't know. Maybe give them a
Yeah.
B.
No. I mean, it could have went. It could have went
Could have
different
gone
if.
a lot worse, right?
Yeah. If I wasn't me or if I wasn't recording, who knows? So
Who knows, right?
but
Right.
they did fairly good besides the parking
Right.
attendant.
Yeah, yeah.
Bill of Rights was up.
Yeah, man. So my name is Inge Berge. I'm a musician up here in Cape Ann, Gloucester area. I'm just a local guy playing music around, and I got kids in the school system here, of course, and so yeah, the saga sort of started. I'll try to make it not too long and boring. The lead up to it, but the lead up was that I fucked up getting tickets to my kids' school play. That's, whatever. I was down in New York with the kids and just it kind of slipped my mind. And I did not think, it didn't enter my mind that getting tickets to a school play now is like getting Super Bowl tickets, Like I didn't think that. I was like, really? You got to order them like 4 weeks in advance? I was like, no. Anyway, long story short, I came back to town after New York. I'm like, it's probably time to get these tickets. Upon which time I'm told they're sold out. I'm like, God damn it, really? I'm like, there's something we got to be able to do something about this, right? So I'm kind of going up to the principal's office at the school, at the O'Malley school where my daughter goes, and I'm kind of going into her office and I'm asking, "God, is there anything we can do, whatever?" And that's when I learned that they're not sold out. They're not sold out in the real sense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They're sold out in the sense that there's actually I've been saying 125, but something like that, and that kind of number of tickets or seats that are available that are empty. And I'm like, well, what's the problem?
Oh,
Can I
wow.
have five, please? I'm like, and she's like, no, you cannot, absolutely not. And I'm like, well,
Wow.
why not? Can I have five tickets? There's 125 empty seats. No, man,
Wow.
it's COVID regulations. We cannot sell those 125 seats. I'm like, you got to be shitting me. Are you
See,
for real?
sorry, I didn't even know that part. I didn't know
COVID
that there was
regulations. So that's
actually like
kind of the lead. That's kind
125
of the lead
empty
up.
seats.
Kind of the lead up. So there's all these empty seats. It's not
Wow.
truly sold out. And here's the kicker. At least for me, is that this is after the state had lifted all the COVID regulations. There were no
Hmm.
more COVID regulations from the state. So
Yeah.
here we're apparently dealing with just school. They've taken it upon themselves, I guess, to make these regulations. You know what I mean? To like
Yeah.
sell so many tickets. So I'm like, well, this is bullshit. I'm sorry. Yes, I fucked up getting the tickets. That is true. However, you have 125 seats. I mean, have a hook a brother up. You know what I mean? Come on,
Yeah.
you got 125 seats. And she says no, and she's quite ornery about it. She's not having it. She's like, "You better leave my office, Mr. Berg." And I'm like, "Oh my God, is that what's going on?" Anyway, so then I'm like, "Okay, now what do we do, right?" So then I decided, well, you know what? First off, I've really never done that before, I don't think, but then I was kind of inspired by, folks like you and other YouTube videos I've seen of people, whipping out the camera and filming interactions, with government officials. So I go up to the superintendent's office and I whip the camera phone and I do a little thing, on the phone and so I go in and anyway, so I go in there and have the camera rolling and I say, so right away, I'm filming this. I'm trying to do a little story on what is the story here? Like why are you guys limiting attendance to this play?
Yeah.
The state is not mandating that you do that, and what's the deal here? So, and I met with I mean, if you've seen the video, you've seen the secretary's not happy. She will not have it. You can't film here, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
gonna be filmed, not going to be filmed. She's not having it. She runs away into another office, blah, blah, blah. Then the superintendent comes out and says, you can't be filming here. You can't be filming here. All right, okay. And I ask, the questions, aren't you guys public employees in a public building and, that kind of stuff. And so he kind of retreats too and just kind of whatever. And then the assistant superintendent comes out and he talks to me. He talks to me a little bit about it. And I explain my situation. I explain my sort of grievance. Everything is friendly. Everything is nice. And I'm just saying, is there anything we can do? I mean, you have 125 empty seats. Could I purchase a couple of them? Like can we make this happen? And he just kind of leaves it open ended and says he's going to get back to me. And then
Hmm.
I leave fairly happy, thinking that maybe it'll get solved, and it'll be the end of it. But that's the opposite happened in a way because no, not only did I get a phone call later from the superintendent himself who says I'm absolutely not getting any tickets, not no way in hell. Not only that, but then later that day I get an email. Then I get the letter, and this is where we gets interesting. Then I get the letter from the school district on stationery and everything, with the saying that they're intending to because by then I'd posted this video on my Facebook
Yep.
so people could see it, whatever. So then they're demanding that I take it down under threat of prosecution for wiretapping.
Wow.
Like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think so. You know. So that's when I think I don't call him. I tagged my lawyer there, Mark Randazza. I don't know if you know about Mark Randazza. He's a
Nah.
pretty he's a shark. He's a First Amendment guy, and I happen to know him a little bit.
I
From
might have to speak to him when
he's a good guy.
when I get back up there.
Great guy. Anyway, he got involved, and we had a phone conversation, and we agreed that this is why don't we slap him with I think it's called the 1983 suit, whatever,
Yep.
attempting to intimidate or whatever or
Force you out of your rights.
yeah, coerce me out of my rights kind of thing, whatever. So here we are, and so the suit's been filed and. But the thing is, that's very interesting. I mean, skipping ahead a little bit, this is over a month ago now, and the school district seems to. I can't really read them, but they're not backing down. They're doubling down. They
Hmm.
want to do it. They are spending a lot of taxpayer money, I would assume, on their lawyers and stuff now, trying to figure out a way to actually get me. They're not backing down because I should
Yeah.
mention the only thing in my lawsuit I'm not asking money. I'm not asking damages. Nothing. I'm
Okay.
asking nothing. All I'm asking for is the retraction of that letter. They won't do it. They will not do it.
Wow.
That's where we're at. That's
Wow.
kind of where we're at. And so I don't know what's going to happen from here. I guess it depends on how long they want to. I mean, I'm almost. Uh, I hate to be too cocky, but I'm almost 100% that I got the law on my side. I don't think
Yeah.
there's nothing that I
Yeah.
don't. There's precedence. There is, even in Massachusetts, there's precedence on
Yeah.
this,
Absolutely.
So anyway,
But as we know, the Constitution is number one.
Constitution is absolutely number one, and there is, I believe, circuit court decisions and everything that address this very thing, and there's absolutely nothing, there's no circumstance here that makes it exempt from any other, situation where you're filming a public official in a public space. I mean, that's exactly what happened, and it was open filming. It wasn't like any surreptitious, stuff.
Yeah.
So I really don't think they have a case, but I don't know what they're doing if they're just churning the case and like the lawyers are making money or what they're trying to do. But I have a I have a pretty good notion that if this insanely goes as far as U.S. District Court, if it does, I really think I'll win.
Yeah, no,
You know?
uh,
So
yeah, I'm pretty sure you would too.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
of course, you never know. I mean, look who they just put in the Supreme Court recently.
correct. Very true. Very true.
So,
Absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely, but this is just, I think there's at least three cases. Not that I'm not a lawyer, but my lawyer tells me stuff, and I learn stuff, I pick up stuff, and I there's at least three solid cases of precedents on very similar things.
already rulings in
Already
the
ruled
Supreme
on
Court or in our
in our circuit.
yeah
At least I think there's one from our circuit and a couple other circuit. I think there's enough precedents on this very thing that I mean, you deal with this all the time. I mean, it's basically the same thing.
yeah
You mostly deal with police. You audit the police, right?
yeah. See, the only thing I've never done, first off, because I don't have any kids and I have
Mhm.
no reason to go into schools. I've never been in a school recording, but
Right,
it's not like there was any children around. It
right.
was it was after it wasn't
Well,
of school.
this is the superintendent's office is in sort of like I don't. It's in like there is also a preschool in the same building,
Hmm.
but I wasn't going into that part. I was going into
Hmm.
a part that holds the offices.
Yeah,
A lot of people have been giving me shit for that. They're like, "You went into a school," and I'm like, "Yes and no," because I went into where the offices are, where these officials work.
yeah,
I'm not sure that it's necessarily my problem, so to speak, that the offices happen to be where there's also a school. I mean, I think that's kind of, I don't know.
yeah. I
No.
mean, I read in the Pinac News, and I'll ask you about that in a minute. But I did read right here. I have it on my phone that I'm reading. That they're trying to say you were violating the federal law known as the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act,
I wonder, yeah.
which is supposed to protect the privacy of student education records, but that does not appear to be the case.
Does
Where were the records?
me either, and especially if that's a thing, I would think that a bare minimum then would be to put a sign advising of such a thing. For example,
Exactly.
like you are now entering FERPA territory.
It will be a federal crime if you
Yeah.
record
Right, right,
any records to it. That has nothing to do with the people themselves. That has to do with the records.
right, exactly.
So if they have records of the children, which they shouldn't have out in the open anyway,
Right,
it's up
exactly.
to them to protect that, really.
So yeah,
So
that's kind of my stand on that too. Like, okay, I can kind of dig that you don't want kids filmed. I get that, and I didn't go in there to film kids. Of course, I went in there to get an interview with
yeah,
people who are presumably behind this policy, which I find very strange.
yeah.
About limiting tickets after what it's
Especially 2 years after all this has gone down, and the
you know
science is pretty clear right now. But we won't even go any further on that because
Yeah, we
YouTube
don't have to
doesn't.
get into that, but I'm just like,
Yeah.
what I kind of want to know is like, well, who made this decision? Given that the state there are no more state uh,
Hmm.
mandates on COVID,
Yeah. There's no more emergency orders or anything.
more emergency orders. So, like, who in the school system made these, extended orders? You know what I mean?
Who voted and all that. Maybe that might be a good public records for your attorney to look into.
Right, exactly, exactly. But I was very, it was very to me it appeared like the superintendent didn't want to talk about it. He knew when I was there to ask, and he
Mhm.
didn't want to talk about it on record. And in the phone call that he, where he called me later to tell me I wasn't getting any tickets, we went into that a little bit. Obviously, I didn't tape that because I didn't want to really be wiretapping. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
So, so I don't have. But he didn't want to talk about it then either. He was basically kind of like, well, not he didn't use those words, but the tenor of the conversation was very much like none of your business. Screw you. You're not getting tickets, and that's that.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
I'm like, okay, and you won't tell me who made up these COVID rules, and you won't tell me why, and you won't tell me what kind of reason, what health authorities are backing them just for a Maley school when other schools don't have them in the state doesn't have
Yeah,
none of that.
because I did read recently, and again, I don't want to go too deep into this, but I did read on their website that it was optional for the masks. Yeah,
It was actually that's funny too. There were masks were optional, but apparently not. Oh, here's a kicker. here's a kind of funny when I finally because it goes with the story that I did in fact get tickets privately from somebody who had some. So
Oh, cool.
I did go see the show. But what?
That was gonna be one of my questions. Did
Yeah,
you actually end up being able to go? Because you were saying was your it was your daughter? Was she headlining it
yeah,
or?
she's kind of one of the leads. Yeah, she was one of the
Yeah,
leads. It was very. She's a big, she's a theater kid, and she was like, I felt so bad. I'm like, I fucked up getting opening night tickets, and that
yeah,
was on me. But
yeah,
I'm like, I gotta make this. I gotta get some, no matter what.
yep.
But we ended up getting the tickets from a private individual who was kind enough to trade with us for another night, so whatever. So it worked
Nice.
great. So anyway, so I showed up and everything, and but here's a funny part. When I walk into the auditorium, right, you would think that given the limited seating sold,
Yeah,
there would be some sort of spacing between people.
yeah.
Now, everyone sat in the middle section, like scrunched
On
together.
top of each other.
Everyone was all together in the middle, and all the two wing sections were totally empty. I'm like,
Wow,
this worked out great, didn't it?
wow.
It's like,
I'm a little shocked that they didn't try to trespass you from even going after that.
I know. I wore my, I wore my head high, and I wore my cowboy hat, and just howdy, that's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
But yeah, no, I was fine. Nobody gave me any shit coming in there. I was fine. Whatever. But it was just the whole thing. It's just so the whole thing was just so grandstanding. Like here you have this principal basically like telling me that I'm get out of here. I have no reason to ask questions about this. And think about pre-COVID, how foreign it would be to an American school to grandstand on something like that.
yeah,
It's we're not talking about Broadway here. We're talking about a middle school show, right?
yeah,
You know what I mean? Can you imagine if our parent coming like, dude, I fucked up getting tickets. You got to help me out. Can you give me 4 or 5 tickets to the show? In the old days, before COVID, it'd been like, yeah, just show up. You'll be fine. Just come on
yeah,
in.
sure,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Right?
Even if we need a little stand, like a couple people
Exactly.
standing to the
In the back
side.
or something, you know what I mean? And so look what like all the COVID regulations have like sort of done to us
Hmm.
now it's become this thing where everything is like you should have bought these tickets. You are
Yeah,
horrible.
yeah,
Like, oh man. You
yeah,
know, and that's what that's funny. The public reaction to it too. I put this out there on a couple of like groups, and especially there's one like city sort of interest group where they post about city stuff happening.
yeah.
Gloucester,
We have that in Salem. That's originally where I'm from.
Gloucester things it's called, and I
Yeah,
posted about this there, and the amount of hate I'm getting out of certain people on there is kind of staggering. They're like a lot of the people on there are like you didn't get tickets in time. You're a horrible father. You're terrible. You don't deserve shit. You're just making a stink for nothing, and you're
uh,
torturing our school officials. And I'm like, nah, well, I don't know. It ain't like that. It ain't like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Anyway,
That's to be expected though from you know the people that are the best the best they'll say they're the best parents and they don't ever run late on something or
yeah, right.
like
Right.
it's always I'm actually looking up your if you want we can share your channel if you want.
What channel? Oh, the YouTube channel?
Yeah, if you want.
Oh, sure. Go ahead. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, get you a couple more subs over there.
Yeah.
I just saw real quick someone asking in the comment section here. Here, I'm gonna share it down in the. He just has it's just music.
Yeah, mostly music videos and stuff, whatever. Whatever. Just not,
Yeah.
small little stuff.
Now this is kind of a follow up. Now that we got the whole story, I got a couple a couple questions about. Did Pinac News actually reach out to you, or did they just
No,
cover
they
it?
just covered the story. They must have, I don't know. I think they probably spoke to Mark, my attorney, maybe,
Oh,
possibly.
okay.
Story off. I'm not sure on that. I can't say, but
Yeah.
either that or they must have, yeah, they must have had an angle because they wouldn't have found it just like that from my Facebook page.
Yeah. Yeah.
Story on it in the local paper here, the local newspaper, Gloucester Daily Times ran a thing on it too, but I
Oh,
can't
okay.
news getting maybe who knows maybe they
They
have.
probably have somebody that looks through the
Yeah,
different circuits of like different lawsuits that have to do with
Could be.
photography and videotaping and all that stuff. That's what I'm guessing.
Could very well
Um,
be, but no, they never reached out to me. But they got the story. I got to give them. I got to give them credit. They got the story very right. They got their retelling of the story was pretty spot on. You know.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're good advocates for photography in general.
Yeah.
Not just First Amendment auditing, not just cop
Right.
watching, just all photography.
Yeah.
All it's not as Pinnack as you probably know now. As photography is not a crime.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So that's their whole thing. So
Yeah. They seem to be a
um,
good organization. I definitely support them now that I'm aware of them. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, and
Yeah.
now that you've done this,
Mhm.
have you had any like? Are you inspired at all to, if you see a police, someone stopped or anything? Are you inspired to stop and just film for 5 minutes and
I
just?
believe I am. I think I already kind of was inspired, but I never came across or it never came to that. But I definitely, for sure. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I wouldn't
because
be afraid of that.
I actually saw someone in the comment section here. They said something about a blue state, but I think it was a Florida rover and Irish rover in Florida.
Yeah.
Um, but myself being down here in a red state and
Mhm.
from up there in a blue state, that doesn't matter. Both people, I mean, both states have their pluses and minuses.
Yeah.
You have Florida, which is very pro police,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
and I think I get more backlash in the red state than I do
Really
the blue state.
interesting.
And it's funny because our state has a Republican governor,
Of course, yeah.
and I mean, he doesn't seem like it, but
No, I know, right?
that's what he says he is. But
Yeah, yeah,
so it has again to me that's all about the vision, and that's basically the most I'm going to get into the whole political
yeah,
standpoint.
yeah.
Um, it really doesn't matter. It's you have people that are um, pro police and anti police, or just police accountability and police don't do anything wrong in
Right.
every single state. It
Yeah.
really doesn't matter where you're at.
Right, of course.
Um,
Makes sense. Makes sense. Well, I mean, it shouldn't be framed like that. I'm neither pro nor anti-police. I just believe
exactly.
that police are necessary, but they gotta obviously adhere to the Constitution and our
Yeah,
rights. That's
exactly.
that, you know?
And that's my point is I'm
Yeah.
just for straight accountability across the board. That's why I kind of had the double meaning or the triple meaning of my name, Massachusetts accountability, mass for the masses. And then you do the initials and it's MA, the initials for our state.
Yeah.
And
Right.
it's not just about the government, and if everyone in this world were just to take accountability for their own actions, it would be a very good place, and exactly how we imagine it, we want it to be.
Yeah.
If everyone just took accountability for their actions, it would be
Hard
a
to disagree with
great
that, my
place.
friend. Hard to disagree with that. Yeah.
So
No,
like a lot of
absolutely.
people think I'm anti-police, but I have great conversations and I post these conversations, and I have police even come up to me and say, "You're doing a great job."
Yeah,
Because
I've seen some. I saw some of that on your channel. I thought that was very nice.
yeah,
Example.
and they can't, a lot of them, when they come up and speak against what's going on, they're crossing that thin blue line. So once they do, they get backlash, they get fired. I
Costs
re, I
personally.
reposted a police officer from Holyoke. He came out and said, "Hey, there's a lot of corruption going on from the chief down." Da 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 da. He was put
Right.
on administrative leave, and I'm pretty sure he got fired. And this is why police like that, like what I do, what other people do,
Yeah.
and some people say I'm a little like I'm a little aggressive sometimes with it, but that to me that's still within our right, and
Yeah.
you have to test them
You have to test
because
exactly right. I get that. You have to put it to the test and see if they sort of
because
pass.
if you don't use your muscles, you lose them.
Right.
You don't
Exactly right.
you don't
Exactly.
use your right, you lose them. So if there isn't these people that are, I guess, aggressive or agitators, as some people might call it,
Right.
the police will eventually, if they have any of that little backlash, they're going to try to come full force at that.
Yeah.
And that's when the tyrannical ways of the government can really all of a sudden just wipe across the board. And
I completely agree with you. And there's a very slippery slope to this stuff. Absolutely. And that brings me a little bit sort of tangentially to like this letter that was sent to me. Like, I don't have the answer, but I can speculate like what was in their head when they sent that to me. Like, what were they thinking? They were either thinking that they were right and that I had broken the law, like they don't
yeah,
know any, you know.
yep,
Option. The other option is that they simply were thinking, and I'm starting to maybe lean a little bit that way, like they were thinking like it doesn't matter because we'll just threaten this guy and he won't know any better, so he'll just back off.
yeah, he'll get scared and say, okay, I'll take it down.
Because I'm thinking most people probably would, is what I'm
Yeah,
thinking. Because
yeah,
I'm seeing so much what I would call ignorance about this out there online and people talking about it. There's a ton of people who really have no idea that they even have, it seems, constitutional rights to do the kind of stuff that I did, which is film beneficial. And they think
exactly,
I'm wrong. And they think
exactly.
it was horrible because I filmed that secretary and poor her and her life is ruined or something. I'm like, wow, what? But anyway. And
And
so they seem to think that's the crux of the issue.
yeah, and what's really bad is those people that think that they don't even want to hear the other side of why it might be okay.
Right.
Which is scary because this is a great conversation starter for anyone that doesn't know their rights or the laws, which some are open-minded to it, but you'll find out, and I'm sure you have, a lot aren't.
A lot aren't. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. A lot would rather not have a lot would apparently spend tax money fighting against their own rights.
And yeah, and cheer it on and cheer these people on.
Right.
It's crazy.
I'll be very interested to see the comment section. I did, as you saw, I posted a link to this, whatever, on my site and also that.
Yeah, I saw you tagged.
Or whatever. So we'll see who's been watching and see what kind of Facebook comments are after that. I'm sure I'll get a lot of hate, but
yeah, I mean, we already had one person
yeah,
say something stupid about you, but they got put in timeout. A lot of people are like, "Oh, that's anti-free speech." I'm like, "This is my house, all right." And if do you just let anyone walk up in your house, talk any certain way to your guests? No, you don't.
Private is private and public is public.
So, and this isn't even a public forum because YouTube can. They don't. It doesn't matter what the Constitution says or what they can do whatever they want to my channel, anyone's channel, whatever. So. That whole you're anti-free speech, and this isn't a free speech zone. This whole entire platform. It's unfortunate, but it isn't.
Yeah, right.
And
I get that.
Yeah, so it's funny that we get that kind of feedback where the same people that tell us that what we're doing is wrong, try to be like, well, you're anti this, like. Your whole everything is against what we do, which is lawful activity, and we exercise our constitutional rights. So if you're against what we do, you are against that. You're not against, you're not for freedom. You're for the freedom you like to exercise. If you're for freedom, you're for how anyone wants to exercise that, as long as within the law, they don't victimize or damage property. They don't victimize people or damage property.
There's a maxim, that I like that seems to be lost on a fair amount of people is that I always like this, like, I don't know who said it, maybe it's just something I heard someplace, whatever, but like, if you really want to safeguard your rights, look after the other guy's rights, the guy you like, look after his rights.
Exactly.
I hate what he's saying. Protect his rights. That way you're also safeguarding your own. You know what I mean? You can't just safeguard your own right. You got to safeguard the guy you hate. That's sort of the thing.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Let me see if anyone in the comment section has any questions. Sure. I know some people were saying they'd love a follow up. So when this whole thing is done with, and we get whether it goes all the way to federal court or whatever it might be,
Right. No,
I'd
definitely.
love to have you back on at that point.
Now we're you and I are hooked up on Facebook now, so you'll see. I'll definitely post
Yeah,
to whatever happens. I have no idea what's gonna happen. The school district right now is just seems to be just playing just sitting on their hands or just letting time go. There's nothing, so we are still waiting for. It's the ball's in their court. They know what we're demanding, which is just
yeah.
a retraction letter.
They're asking if you can bring the mic a little closer, I
Oh,
guess.
okay. My little okay, yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Oh, my heart to hear. Hope not. Okay, cool.
Is that a little better?
Okay.
That's the first time someone said
Oh,
something.
all right. I hope I haven't been too quiet this whole
Yeah,
time.
no, I
Okay, cool. All right. Cool.
yeah. So, yeah. Do we got any questions you guys want to ask? Yeah, because at the beginning I asked if the audio and everything was good. Everyone said yeah. So,
Oh, okay. I hope it
I
was
mean,
good.
I'm probably speaking very loudly too, because
Okay. Okay. I might have been mumbling a little bit toward the end there. Sorry, but I'll make sure that's right up in my face like that.
someone saying splitting hairs sounds good. So
Okay, cool.
I'm sure it was a um, little lighter than how I'm speaking, because I know I'm speaking pretty loud right now.
Okay.
So,
Gotcha.
um, yeah, I don't see anyone. Let's see.
No, it's
Anyone
good.
got?
Right, man. Everyone knows what's up.
Yeah. If anyone has any questions, we're gonna wrap it up soon.
Yep.
I just wanted him to get his story out even more. So
Cool.
I know the
I very much appreciate it, man. It's really good. I'm really good things have come of this because I become aware of you and I become aware of Pinac and yeah, good things have come of it.
yeah.
Okay.
So I know they covered it, and
Yeah.
there was no. Yeah, I see someone saying it's me being loud.
Okay.
So I know they covered it, but there was no actual publication of a video, and you weren't able to actually, as you said, Pinac didn't even get any interview from you itself. They just grabbed the story and published that. So,
Published it, but yeah, but I got
um,
to give him, like I said, I got to give him credit because they got it extremely right. They got it
yeah,
really right. Yeah, so that's
yeah.
good.
Even that law that they said that they might have reached out to the school, because somehow they got that the school wanted to charge you with that
The FERPA,
federal, yeah,
yeah,
FIRMA.
yeah, right. Well,
Yeah, so
I got something to tell the school. If you're gonna claim some sort of FERPA thing, post a goddamn sign.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Come on, man.
Well, that's what I say all the time with the police stations and everything. Like, you don't
Yeah,
want me back in this parking lot? You
yeah.
got to post a sign.
You got to post a sign saying so, and you got to back up the sign too with some type of law under it that says FERPA
Yeah,
can't be
yeah.
there. You know what I mean? You got to back the shit up.
It can't just be like
No.
authorized vehicles only, because
Right.
I'm not a vehicle. I can walk back there, and
Exactly.
like it has to be exact, especially in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
I know. I guess in New Hampshire, a fence is good enough. So even if that fence has an opening, if
Right.
there's a fence, you can't go beyond that.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's
this
not
is
something
the
I
thing.
know, but that's not something I would know anything about.
Yeah.
Interestingly, though, one of the things that not that that's probably a very small point, but there was a doorbell and it was locked. They did let me in. They buzzed me in, so it's not like I wasn't let in. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So
Nice.
anyway,
Yeah. No, that's
I don't know how
that,
significant that is, but anyway,
that gives even a little more to the story. Like,
a little bit, maybe, possibly. I'm not sure, but
yeah. So,
yeah. Anyway,
well, nowadays anyway, they really lock down schools like all the time.
right. Which I understand.
Yeah.
Which I can understand. Safety concerns are safety concerns. I get that.
I think a lot of it has been fear mongering, but I do understand the
I do
safety for
too.
the
I do
children.
too. Yeah, I do too. But I mean, whatever. But I wouldn't have any particular issue with. But I mean, also that's another thing that's come up that's kind of a point that some people have been making, like, oh, the whole school thing, you can't film in the school. All right, well, you know what? I don't think the onus is on me to make sure that the administrative offices are separate from where the school is happening. I think that's kind of on them. If they want to
Exactly.
build a barrier, a separate corridor, or some architectural solution to it,
Yeah.
go ahead, do with that
Yeah.
then. I mean, if you're concerned about that kind of safety, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I don't know,
And
that's not me. Yeah.
I mean, on top of it all, if there was any ill will behind anyone recording in a school,
Right.
it's probably going to be somebody that shouldn't be at the school anyway.
Exactly right.
They're
Exactly.
probably told they shouldn't be around kids anyway.
Exactly. That's what I'm
So
too. I can't
it's not like a regular person's going to walk up in that school recording kids for any ill will or anything of that sort. If they are, they're already there on probably legal terms.
Already persona non grata in that case, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah. So like,
so yeah,
it all depends perception, So
right.
Well,
yeah.
All right. One last time, guys. Any questions? Any questions? I think this actually went very well. I wasn't sure. I haven't done. Oh, it's not a flat top, guys. It's just the angle. It's just the angle. Someone said Gloucester. Gloucester, Mass.
Gloucester.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. I don't know how to say that first name, but whoever's asking where this happened is Gloucester.
There you go.
It's spelled Gloucester. That's how it's really spelled. But
yeah, that's how you know somebody's not from here when they say Gloucester or Gloucester.
Yeah, exactly. Just like Worcester is Worcester.
Right. Exactly. Right.
If people have never seen it, look up people trying to pronounce Massachusetts cities. It's very hilarious. It's like a 6-minute, 8-minute video, and it's just people that aren't from around here trying to pronounce all the different, like Situate and all that, and Billerica, they're saying, and they're like, how do you people even get around up there? Like,
right.
But yeah, I haven't seen any other comments.
All right. We must have been very clear. We must have made everything. We must have laid it out perfectly, man.
Yeah, I guess so.
There you go.
Yeah, someone's saying the perfect storm town. Yep, that's where that perfect storm is based.
Exactly right. And now, actually, more current Coda came out of here too. That movie that won a bunch of Oscars.
Oh, really?
Yeah, or whatever it won. I forget.
Yeah, I know. They've been shooting a lot of movies up in even Salem, Beverly, Marblehead.
Yeah, sure.
Manchester by the Sea, Revere.
Yeah, right.
Lynn, that whole area, because they did the town over there too. Billy Madison, what's his name? Adam Sandler there. He shot a lot of movies in the North Shore too.
Yeah, he's been up here too. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Spot to shoot movies. So there you go. So there you go. Ties in with the whole filming angle. People come here to film, damn it, and I can't film. What?
Yeah. Emergency education point. What did you ask something here? I'm going to scroll back.
Mm-hmm.
I ask and I look. Yeah, I have a question. All right.
Okay.
We are not a rule of law, and it's from the top down. What you have to say about that, and the only legitimacy American governments have is what they've given themselves. It didn't really sound like a question. That sounded like a statement. And what do I think about the statement?
I don't want to touch that one. I'm not an anarchist. I believe in the rule of law. I believe that laws are I believe a lot of laws are just, and those that aren't should probably be go through the legislature and get thrown away. But what I do know is that the constitutional law supersedes state law.
Yeah,
that much.
Whatever the government and officials do with their own passing of laws and everything, I mean, that's what they do. I mean, you get power, you run with it. Usually,
that is very true, and this is part of the reason why what you do is so important. Why you keep it, you do your part to keep it in check, so that way people stay informed about whether they like it or not. What is the law and what government and government officials can and cannot do. I mean, this should be it's very important knowledge, and I'm a little shocked at how poor that knowledge is out there. What we might call it civics knowledge, I'm a little shocked. I don't know. I have a personal theory that it used to be better. I could be wrong about that. That people used to know more about these things than they do now. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know if they ever did. But
yeah, I mean, the only way I would say I don't even know if that's a possibility is because my grandparents, their generation, they are basically do what the government says.
Right.
They're right. And I mean, even my mom, I guess my mom was born in 64. So like
Yeah.
Her generation, I mean, I feel like they were more rebellious, maybe
Maybe.
in the 70s,
70s. Yeah, kind of.
70s, 80s, but
Yeah. Yeah.
rebellion isn't quite not knowledge of civil rights and
No,
everything.
I just wonder what the school. I mean, I asked my daughter. She's in seventh grade now. It's like, have you guys at this point in seventh grade, have you received any civics education at all, like at all? And she's like, no,
Nope,
nothing, not a damn thing.
they
Like
don't want people
that's
knowledgeable in that.
oh, I know, and I'm like,
You can't stand up for yourself if
if
you
I
don't
were
know
a
it.
rich man, I would be like, this is necessary. I would fund civics education in my town.
Hmm.
I would be like, this needs to get into the schools. Kids
Yeah,
need to know the basics of the Bill of Rights and the
yep,
Constitution and
yep,
what this is about, I mean,
yeah,
geez. But they don't. They have no idea. And it shows, in these comment sections. It shows,
yeah,
man. People are
yeah.
clueless.
Um, I think the brainwashing has got more severe over the years, more recently,
Maybe. Yeah.
um, which causes these type of people like, no, that's against the law. As like someone just asked in the comment section here, isn't wiretapping law pertaining to telephonic recording?
Mm.
Um,
No.
no, it's a one party consent state. So if it's in a place that's an expectation of privacy,
Well,
then
actually, the key thing there is surreptitious. It has to be secret for it to be wiretapping. There was nothing.
that too.
There's nothing
Like
secret about what I did. It's open and
so
yeah, yeah, yeah.
exactly. If you have the phone up recording, it's up to them to now leave,
They can leave. They can walk away.
or if they don't walk away, that's consent from there
Right,
on out.
exactly right. Exactly right.
So and actually to actually back that, when I was arrested back 13 years ago for recording an arrest, they tried to get at me with the wiretapping
Oh, they did, huh? Yeah.
out in a public place, and same thing with Glick v. Cuniff in
Exactly.
Boston.
Kind of is very much very
They
pertinent.
they tried getting him with wiretapping as well, and
Right.
he was standing 10 feet away, and
Right.
that's a big case within the First Amendment now.
Absolutely. That's one of the precedence cases for this one. It's one of them. There's a
Yeah,
couple others, and I can't recall them right. Garrick v. I can't. I'm no lawyer. I can't
yeah,
say that, but there's a
yeah,
couple others too that are
yeah,
pertinent. So yes, I think we got good precedents, and yeah, we'll
yeah,
see. We'll see how it all pans out. I mean, I'm hoping for the taxpayers' sake, I guess, that the school district will eventually just think better of it and just send me a letter saying they retract.
yeah,
That so we won't have to go to U.S. District Court to settle
yeah.
it.
And I mean that tells a lot too, that you're not doing it for them. Like you're not even asking for any money.
No, I won't. I wouldn't do that. This is
You-
not. I can't claim any. That would be dishonest. I suffered no monetary damages. You know what I mean? It's just simply for the principle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, but on the terms of what you can actually do, I mean, it's a if they violate civil rights, I mean, they're that within itself is and you're then able to get monetary.
I know. There could be.
So
We could go for punitive damages,
you
but
could
we're not gonna. We're not gonna do that.
exactly. So that shows a lot. Like this isn't about, and a lot of people are like, oh, like people like me do it for money. I've been doing it for almost 3 years. Haven't filed one lawsuit.
Right. Exactly.
I've been detained multiple times illegally. I've been arrested once.
Right.
And multiple times is some sort of rights violation, even if it's the government deleting comments on their wall,
Right.
anything of that sort. So,
Exactly. Right.
I think we're just about at the end here.
Yeah. Sounds good, man. This was great, man. I appreciate you having me on, man. It's good to meet you, and hopefully some people were watching, and thank you for sharing, guys. Great content, brother. Say it's Brian Butler. Cool. Awesome. Hey, Brian.
Yeah, we got up to about 160 people in here at one time. So
Excellent. Fantastic, man. That's
I'm
great.
sure that the title and the thumbnail are gonna get some people checking it out, because
Good.
they're trying to charge you with that felony. So,
Good, man. Good, man.
well, I appreciate you, coming on, and this has been great.
Awesome, man. And we'll talk again, man. We'll stay in touch on Facebook, and I'll let you. I'll certainly you'll know when something happens in the case, man.
All right, man.
All right, man. See you later.
All right. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Bye.
You too.
Bye. All right, guys. So, let me just now we're at the end right now. I'm going to actually give you a quick update on the Naples Airport investigation. I got a letter today from professional standards. They found all 3 officers had violated policy. The Sergeant No, Corporal Davis, and Officer Gullickson, all 3 of them found that they violated policy, and there's going to be some sort of administrative. Oh, hold on. Hold on. I think someone just said, and wait, there's more. I think what's going on is I'm trying to get that off the screen. Hold on. And the comments were scrolling at the same time. Oh, you know what it is? It's probably this. All right, can you guys hear me? I don't know what just happened. My end is very late. My screen is stuck. I'm frozen. Hold on. Hold on. How about now, guys? What do we got now? Let me know. We good? Still bad, in and out, still shitty. All right, guys, we're done. Now, good, we good, we good? We good? We good? Much better? All right, so those 3 officers, Sergeant No, Corporal Davis, and Gullickson, they were all found to violate policy, and there will be some sort of administrative, what did they say? Real quick. They're gonna be punished somehow. I think it's on this phone. When I have so many phones going at the same time, I lose track of what phone I saved everything on. All right, yeah. So I'll read it to you guys. Dear Mr. Madsen, your complaint filed on December 22nd, 2021 concerning the conduct of Sergeant Eric No Master Officer Tyrone Davis and Officer Hans Gullickson have been investigated. At the conclusion of the investigation, it was determined by Sergeant Eric No, Master Officer Tyrone Davis, and Officer Hans Gullickson actions were in violation of department policy. Based on this finding, administrative action will be taken. Thank you for directing my attention to this matter. The Naples Police Department is committed to providing the highest level of police service in the community. Sincerely, Lieutenant Brian McGinn, Naples Police Department Professional Standards. So there we go, guys. Meanwhile, there's people still in the comment section of that video of the Naples airport. That are like, that's what you get. I love when officers just don't put up with any of that, blah blah blah. Well, when they don't put up with any of that and they violate law and or policy, they end up getting in trouble. So if you are one of those people, you are cheering on officers violating rights and getting in trouble. So that's all I wanted to say. I know I broke up for a couple minutes or whatever, so I hope you all have a great night. That was a great interview and live stream. Hope you all have a great night. I'm going to keep an eye out. I might go live tomorrow at a city council meeting, and we'll see if I do go live, if the service is good over there. So I appreciate you all. Have a great night. Thank you for joining. Keep a lookout for more content and more live streams this week. Much love, respect, and appreciation.